Hey guys, it's Molly. I'm here at the CoreX studio, and today's workout is your Stretch X workout. So, what that means is you're going to need a mat. You're going to be doing a lot of great stretches that are dynamic, some that you're going to hold for a little bit, and it's going to be mixed in with strength work, specifically focusing on the core. So we got 30 minutes. I'm excited. This should make you hopefully feel really good at the end, feel really mobile and stretched out, and as if you moved your body in a lot of different ways. So enjoy. If you need to pause and hold any kind of stretches longer during the workout, do it and have fun. All right, let's get started. You're going to start by standing at the back edge of your mat. Just as you do in the CoreX studio, we're going to have our same warm-up. So I want you to stand with your feet hips width. Look down at your toes, lift them up, spread them as wide as you can, and then lay them all the way down. And then from here, feel as if you're grounding your feet firmly and evenly into the mat. Arms lengthened by your side with your palms facing forward. Shoulder blades slid down your back, and close your eyes. And as you're closing your eyes, let's just take a breath. Feel your feet as they're grounding into the mat, how it's connected to the mat, and how that is starting to bring some energy up through your body. Feel how your spine can get a little longer, how your collarbone can open a little bit wider, and how you can have a sensation of a drawing in and up of the low abdominals and the pelvic floor. As you're here taking one more breath, at CoreX, whether you're at home or whether you're here in the studio, we really strive for you to be inspired. We want you to thrive. We want you to keep growing. Go ahead and open your eyes. Bring the arms overhead. Take your right hand to your left wrist. Reach over to the right side and really press that left foot down in opposition. Breathing, reaching, exhale back to center. Left hand to right wrist. Reach up and over to the left. Pressing down into your right foot. And then back to the middle. Clasp your hands behind your back. Reach down your glutes, opening up your chest. And then bring the arms all the way up. Tuck the chin, roll through the spine, and take your head all the way down. Shaking out your head side to side, also as if you're saying yes and no. And then walk it all the way out to a plank position. Now, as you're in your first plank, make sure your index finger is pointing straight ahead, pulling the belly to the spine, sliding your shoulder blades down your back, and wrapping around your torso. And breathing, pressing into your whole hand. Remember, when you're in plank on your hands, you don't want to load just into the palm of your hand. You really want to feel as if your fingers are working with you. As you're here breathing, start to walk it back in, drop your heels, drop the head, grab opposite elbow with opposite hand, pull yourself down a little bit deeper, then release, round it on up. Bring the arms back overhead, looking up to the skies, giving yourself some gratitude for being alive today, for being here, for being healthy, and then roll through the spine all the way down. This time, walk both hands over to the outside of the right foot. Get a little stretch through the back and the side of the legs. Walk over to the outside of your left foot, letting your neck relax, and then back to the very middle, This time, walk it out to a plank, go onto your elbows, and go into Pilates stance. Now, when you're on your elbows, I still want your fingers spread wide. I still want your index finger forward. And ideally, your arms, when you look at them, they look like railroad tracks. So they're side by side parallel. You're pulling the abdominals in and up. Your shoulder blades are down your back, but you're pressing up between them. Now, if you need a break, you take it, but during this minute hold, we're going to add in some sternum drops. It's a really great way to work your posture. So we're going to take the shoulder blades down and together, pressing up. Shoulder blades down and together, pressing it up. Keeping your neck long with your spine. Every time you press up, pulling the belly to the spine, wrapping around your torso. As you take it down and up, find your breath to guide you. Let's go 5 more. So the inhale down, the exhale to bring you up. Hollowing out the abs each time. 2 more. 1 more. Hold the plank. Pull the abdominals in. Find how your glutes are working with you, meaning feeling them turn on, feeling your tailbone tuck a little to pull the low abs in, and then rest your knees all the way down. Okay, as you sit back in child's pose, I want you to widen your knees today, and then sit your glutes back onto your heels, and walk your hands way out in front. Now, the first stretch we're going to do is called a puppy pose. So you're going to stay in child's pose, and you're going to creep your arms forward until you feel as if your hips and your knees are lined up. Now, once they're lined up, I want you to drop your chest. That's going to give you a great stretch in your shoulders and into your lats. And then I also want you to feel how your sits bones can start to separate and how this also becomes a really great stretch for your hips, your glutes, and your low back. So as you're here breathing, melting the chest down, still pulling the belly to the spine, you're holding here for 5. Reach those hands 4 and 3, dropping down a little bit deeper, 2, and then walk it back in, and then roll it on up. Okay, so even in the stretch class, guys, we always start with abs at CoreX. So let's go ahead and have a seat. We're going to start with rolling like a ball. So I want you to pull the heels in close to the glutes, lift the toes just off. You can hold on to your ankles, your shins, or your heels. And I want you to make this tight little ball. Keeping the scoop, keeping the shape. We're going to roll it on down. You're going to exhale, curl it back up. All right, as you're rolling down and back up, I want you to keep your eyes on your belly button and start to really feel how your spine can start to stretch out. So it almost becomes like a spinal massage. As you're rolling down and back up, a lot of balance. I like that you're not going to really kick your heels out when you roll back, but you're going to keep it all tight in. Let's go 3 more like this. Taking it down, rolling it up for 3. Taking it on down, rolling it up 2. And then on the last one, hold at the top. Now, release the hands. Legs go up to a boat shape. Roll down to the shoulder blades. Keep the knees bent. And let's start pumping the arms for the 100. Now, as you're pumping the arms, you can go ahead and extend the legs out, or you can keep the knees bent. Find what works for you. But every inhale is a wide inhale. Every exhale, you are pulling the abdominals in deep, wrapping around your core, wrapping around your thighs, and really creating heat. Inhaling through the lungs, exhale, deepening in the abdominals. Again, this is a vigorous pumping of your arms. Let's keep it going. If you need to lay your head down, you can do that at any point. We're going to go for 10 and 9. You're reaching long through the legs. Maybe your legs go a little lower, 8. And pumping 7. Breathing and deepening, 6 and 5, 4. See if you can feel your pelvic floor start to pull in and up. 3, and 2. Now pause. Reach, deepen, and then lower all the way down. Reach the arms overhead. Feel as if you're being pulled in 2 separate directions, and then release. Right into our roll-ups. Take an inhale. Exhale, peel the spine off, curling up and over, an imaginary ball in front of you. Keeping that scoop, roll it down, arms go by your side, legs lift up and over as you peel the spine off. Now, once you're here, if you need your hands to help you, that's fine. Open the legs about shoulders width, flex the feet, reach through the heels, and then roll it on through. The legs glue together. You engage the core, the legs lower down. Arms reach. Exhale, peel the spine off, curling up and over. Keeping the scoop. Now you roll down into a rollover. Open the legs, flex the feet, roll the spine down. All right, so this is our combination move. Reach it. Exhale, peel the spine off. Roll it on down. Roll the legs up and over. Open, flex the feet. Roll through the spine. The legs lower down. Reach it. Peel the spine off. Roll it on over. A lot of spine mobility here, guys. Rolling it back down. Legs glued together. Reach it overhead. Peel the spine off. This is your last one. Rolling up and over. Open the legs. Flex the feet. Glue the legs together. Take it all the way on down. Now from here, curl head and shoulder blades just off. From here, float the legs just off. And as you're here breathing, crisscross the ankles. Now, if you feel like this is too much on your back, your legs can go a lot higher. It is all good. We're here for 10 and 9, 8. Keep deepening in the abs. 7, reaching 6, pulling in deep. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it, reach it, and take it on down. Pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice tight hug. Rock it side to side, and then shoot the legs straight up to the sky. Go into your Pilates stance, meaning heels touch, toes about a fist width apart, arms out to the T, palms down. TikToks. You're going to take the legs over to the right side. Now my left hand stays grounded. My legs go to a hover above the mat. I squeeze my inner thighs. I use my top oblique, and I exhale, come back to center. And then I'm going to go to the other side. So I ground through my right hand. My legs twist. I hover the legs. I use that right oblique to help bring me back up and back to middle. Now, as you're doing your TikToks, sometimes people have really tight low backs. And even though this is a really great move for your low back, it may feel better if you have your knees bent. So listen to your body. Find what works for you. Try to keep the shoulder blades grounded. Try to always have control. So using your breath so that your legs don't just fall down or swing up. Everything's with control. So as you lower, it's with control. As you come up, it is smooth and graceful. Last one here, guys. And all the way up and bring it in. Okay, lay onto your side. And I want your knees bent, soles of your feet lined up with your glutes, and arms directly out in front. Now your palms are glued together, so it looks like you have these long prayer arms. Now from here, keeping your hips as stacked as possible, take your top arm on the floor, circle it behind you, and open your chest as your top arm reaches all the way behind you. It circles through and then back to where you started. So keep that circular motion going. This is a great way to open up your chest pec, to open up through your shoulders. It's a really good move for your thoracic spine. So that's like your mid-upper back. Now, once you get to the middle, reverse. Take it down. Remember, try to get the hands on the ground. Try to get the arm long so that way you get some rotator cuff in there. circling through. These should feel kind of amazing. And back to the center. One more, circling. Sweep the arm all the way back to the middle. Okay, from here, flip onto your back. A happy baby. Grab the insides of your feet or the toes. Open your feet as wide as your knees. And then from here, drop your tailbone down. So you're pushing into your feet, dropping the tailbone down. Make sure your chin isn't lifted, but you're kind of leveling out your neck. So that is the back of the head pressing into the mat. And then you can start to do a little rock side to side. Let's just go for 3. This is also really good for low back. 2 and 1. I'm going to grab behind my thighs, rock it up. I'm going to spin turn, lay on the other side. You don't have to. You can just turn around if you wanted to, but I want to see you guys. All right, from here, your head is relaxed. Arms are long, hips are stacked, knees are bent. You're going to circle that top arm around. You're going to open up the chest and then circle it back through. Keep it going. As you're doing this, you're trying to keep that top arm long, as if you're reaching, as if you're painting a circle around your whole body. Let's reverse it. Taking it down, circling it wide, overhead and back in, taking it down, circling it wide and back overhead. One more, guys. Taking it down, circling it wide, and then all the way back to the middle. Okay, flip onto your back once again. Go back to your happy baby, and once you're here, drop the tailbone down. If you have the mobility, extend your left leg long, press that right knee down towards the mat, and then bend the left leg. And if you can, extend your right leg long, press that left knee down. Now, this is a big stretch on the back of the leg, so if it's too much for you, you can just keep the knees bent. Now we're going to do both at the same time if you can. Extend both legs, drop the tailbone, hold that stretch, bend the knees, bring it in. Grab behind your thighs, rock it up, cross the ankles, jump it right back into plank. Okay, breathing here. Now we got a little bit of our hip openers. So let's go ahead and start by taking your left leg off the ground. Take it up high as you reach. Then step it through, drop your right knee down. Lift the chest up. Now, this is going to stretch your right hip flexor. So you can either tuck the tailbone, be upright, squeeze that right glute to open up the hip, or you can hinge forward. Find what works for you. Pull that left hip back. Hold that stretch. Maybe you're even looking slightly to where the ceiling and the wall meet. As you're here, you're deepening in the abdominals to protect the low back, to keep that core engagement. Remember, your right glute activation is key. Then from here, hands go down. Lift the back knee up, slide the left foot over, and place both hands on the inside of the foot. Now, you can stay with long arms, or you can go all the way down to your elbows. And that's going to create a lot of hip opener. You still want to reach through that right heel. You still want to turn that right glute on to open up the right hip. And then breathe, letting yourself melt. Taking a breath. And then walk it back up. Now, this is one of my favorite stretches. This is called the CoreX twist. Take your right hand about 5 inches higher than your left foot. Turn both toes to the outside blade of the foot so that your toes turn to the left. And then I'm going to drop my right hip down towards the mat. So I'm twisting everything open to the left. Now, I have really tight hips and into my IT bands, so I feel this a lot, not only on my bottom hip, but on my top hip too. You may be different. It may feel just your bottom hip, you may feel just your top, or it may just feel good. Sometimes if you're really tight in your obliques or low back, you can even feel that stretch on the bottom side. I even let my outside of my bottom leg rest on the mat. You don't have to. Maybe that range of motion doesn't work for you. And then carefully untwist. Now ground your hands, both legs go back. Okay, right leg lifts, reach it up high, step it on through, drop the left knee. Bring the arms up, now we're into the other side. So once again, you can be upright, tucking the tailbone, squeezing the left glute to open up the hip flexor. Or you can hinge, squeeze, and then reach the arms up. Find what gives you a better stretch. Now, as you're here breathing, deepening in those abdominals, reaching up to the sky, pull that right hip back to create some opposition, and then take the hands down. Lift the back knee, walk the right foot over some, and you can either stay here on your hands, or if you have the mobility, get down low on your elbows. Big hip opener, reach that left heel back, and breathe. Try to let your body melt. And then you'll walk it back up. Left hand goes 5 inches higher than your right foot. Core X twist. Turn the feet to the outside blade so that now your toes are pointing to the right. I'm going to drop my left hip towards the mat. And as I twist everything open to the right, again, you may feel a stretch on that top hip, that bottom hip, maybe all the way down the IT band. Find what feels good for you. On this side, I even feel it all the way up into my low back and into my oblique. That again is where I get really tight on that left side. And then untwist, hands on the mat, both legs back into plank. Okay, now, as you're here in plank, index fingers pointing forward. Feet are side by side. You have about 2 inches from foot to foot. And then from here, I want you to swivel the feet, lift the left arm up, hold, and twist under, and then you open. And you twist under, and then you open. Now, as you're twisting under, if being in this side plank is too much on your right wrist, go ahead and carefully go down onto your elbow for that side plank. The main thing here is remember, if you're on your hand, you want to press not just into the palm, but also into the finger pads. Use your whole hand. As you twist under, breathe out. Wrap around that center. Feel that bottom oblique start to work with you. Let's go 4 more, guys. Twist it under for 4. You can do this, twist it 3. This is part of your core work. And 2. And then 1 more. Reach it up. Lift the hip higher. Take it back to plank. Shift forward. Give me 1 tricep push-up. Other side. All right, from here, I reach my right arm up. I lift my bottom oblique. I press into my whole hand, and I twist under, and then I lift. As you twist, that's your opportunity to breathe out, to really feel like you're wringing out the lungs. As you twist, and then open, focus on that left shoulder blade, sliding down your back. As we're twisting, let's go for 5. Breathing it out, 4. Wrapping it under for 3. Wrapping it under 2. And then 1 more. Hold it, lift. Back to the middle. Index finger forward. Shift forward. Tricep push up. Press it up. Hold. And then take it all the way on down. Okay, as you go all the way down, now we're going to be on our belly for the next stretch. This is a great stretch for your chest pec. So kind of follow along. It's a little tricky getting into it. As you're here, I want you to have your arms like a cactus. Your elbows have to be as high as your shoulders, not down here. It will feel better if they're lined up. Now, I'm going to keep my right arm in a cactus. I'm going to take my left hand and push it into the ground with my elbow wide. It almost looks like a side push-up, but my right arm is in cactus. Now I'm going to open my chest to the left. I'm going to take my top leg, which is my left leg, and I'm going to bring it behind my right leg. It can go behind my ankle. It can go a little further back, doesn't matter. And what I'm focusing on is stretching my right chest pec, my right shoulder. So I'm going to push my left arm away some, and I'm going to feel a big stretch through the front of my shoulder, maybe down the shoulder, into the chest pec on my right side. Now, I can move my right arm a little bit if I needed to, as if I needed to pull the elbow wider, if I needed to sink a little deeper. Find what works for you. If you're tight in this area, you'll feel it. Now, as you're holding that chest opener, remember, I'm just kind of opening up my left hip, my left side of the body to really deepen that stretch on my right side. And breathe. If it's ever too much, come a little out of it. We're here for about 5 and 4. Taking some deep breaths, 3, 2, and bring it on down. Okay, now let's do the other side. Cactus the left arm. I'm going to actually turn to the other side so that way I can see you guys. All right, so cactus the left arm. Take your right hand, elbow wide, press it into the ground. Take your right leg, cross it over your left leg, and just start to twist open until you feel that stretch through the left chest pec. And sometimes one side's going to feel a lot more intense than the other. For me, it is the left side. So you can feel this way up by the collarbone. You may feel it up into your neck, or you may just feel it around your shoulder, maybe even down your arm. The main thing is you can kind of adjust a little bit to find where you need to be. Sometimes people might like to be higher up. You might want to sink a little deeper. Find what works for you and breathe. As you're here, letting your body melt. Again, this is a great way to stretch out your chest pec area. And this gets really tight on people. Sometimes you don't even realize how tight the chest area gets until you do something like this. And as you're holding and breathing, go ahead and bring it on down and then sit back into child's pose. All right, now from here, let's go ahead and go back onto the belly. Bend your knees. Take your hands either to your ankles or to your feet. Flex your feet if you can grab your ankles. Now, if you can only grab your toes, that's fine. But if you can grab the ankles, flex the feet. Press your leg or your foot into your hands. Roll the shoulders back. So wrap the triceps. Start to pull the belly to the spine. And instead of lifting your chest first, I want you to think of lifting your thighs up first. Okay? So see if you can get your thighs off of the mat. Then if you can get your thighs off, then start to lift your chest even more. And then as you're there, press your legs or feet into your hands, pull the abs in, and see if both thighs and chest can lift another ½ inch. And you're here breathing. This opens up the whole front body. This is a big stretch. Now you stay here if you can. If that's too much, you release the legs, you press into your hands, and you float the chest up as you pull the belly in. Shoulder blades slide down the back, and that will also open up your abdominals. So as we're here for about 5, breathing 4, keep thinking of how your belly pulls to the spine to protect your back. 3, 2, and release. Lower your head down, swivel your legs, and then from here, go ahead, push back once again into child's pose. All right, from here, we're going into our cactus. So I want you to sit like a Z-set, where your right foot is in, your left shin lines up with the edge of the mat. And then from here, let's get some lateral stretch in your body. So take your right hand to the mat, drop your elbow down, reach that top arm over. Now, if you can go out further, go there, but I do want that top arm straight. And then you're going to twist it under, and you're going to thread the needle. So as you twist, reach that right arm, weave the left arm under, get that little twist in the back, and then you untwist, drop the right elbow, reach the arm again, slide it on up, grab the left shin with your left hand, and reach the right arm over this way. And this is all good for the obliques, for your side body, and for your quadratus lumborums. These big back muscles on your low back, they get really tight. And then from here, stay in the Z-sit. Now, I'm going to kind of turn to the diagonal because now we're going to stretch that left quad. So in this Z-sit, you start to take your hands back behind you. Now, you may just get here and you may be like, okay, that's good enough. Or if you can get down to your elbows, go there and think of squeezing your left glute, and you're probably going to start to feel a big stretch down your left quad. And as you're squeezing your left glute, you're leaning back. Some people may be able to go all the way back. Listen to your body. Breathe. As you're here, reaching that left knee down, squeezing that left glute. You're here for about 5 counts. If this doesn't feel good at any point, go ahead and come on out of it and continue with the side stretches. If you're all the way down, you got to prop yourself back up, bring it up, switch legs. Okay, so let's do the Z-sit. Left heel in, right shin lined up with the edge of your mat. Let's take your left arm way out, reach that right arm over, get that side stretch. If you can go further, great. And then take that right arm, weave it under that left armpit, reach the left arm longer, getting that twist. And then from here, walk out of it. Grab the right shin, bring that left arm over the body. Get that nice lateral stretch. And then from here, we stretch the right quad. So once again, and one side may be different than the other, you take your hands behind you. Maybe you just go way back, squeezing that right glute, reaching the right knee down. Or maybe you go to your elbows. This is where I feel it the most. So I'm thinking again, reaching my right knee down, squeezing my right glute, and I get a big stretch through that whole front of my quad, and I'm talking all the way down by my knee. So find what works for you. If you want to lay all the way down, you can. You're holding and you're breathing for about 5 counts. Reaching that knee, and then walk it back up and back to the very middle. Okay, from here, guys, we got one last part. So go ahead and lay down onto your back. Pull your knees into your chest. Let's do one quick little ab series here. You're going to keep that left knee in. Outside hand low on the ankle. Inside hand right below the knee. I want you to push that lower leg up into the hands as you pull it into the chest. And then you switch and reach. Make these slow and almost as if you're stretching the legs as opposed to really making it so much about your core. Really think about the length and the opposition. So pulling one knee way in as the other leg really reaches. Let's go for 4 and switch it 3, switching it 2, switching it 1. Now crisscross. Hands are pancaked at the base of the skull. Still really pulling that one knee way in as the other leg reaches. Just for 4, and reach it 3, and reaching it 2, reaching it 1, take it down. Okay, last little stretch here. Take your right thigh over your left thigh. So it looks like, this, like as if you were crossing your legs. Then if you can, you grab at your ankles. If you can't, you grab at your shins. Flex your feet and pull the feet to the outside of the mat as you drop your tailbone down. Now, because my right leg is on top, that's the leg that's probably going to get most of the stretch. So I'm really going to reach my right hip down to create more opposition. My collarbone is wide. I'm holding and breathing. And then as I release, I keep that right ankle over my left thigh. I put my arms out to the T. I drop my legs to the left. So as my right foot grounds, I take my left hand, pull that right knee down, and now I'm getting a big twist. Now I'm looking at you guys, but you're going to turn your head all the way to the right to create a little bit more opposition. And as you pull that knee down, you find what works for you. It is a great stretch for your whole spine, especially your low back and your glutes. And then we're going to bring it back to the middle. Switch. Left thigh over right. Pull it in. Grab the ankles or the shins. Flex your feet. Pull the feet to the outside of the mat. Drop your tailbone. Drop that left hip because that left leg is the one that's going to get most of the stretch. Breathe. As you're here, great little hip opener. Now, as you release, keep that left ankle over your right thigh. Drop the legs to the right. Ground your left foot. Reach the left arm. Take your right hand, pull that left knee down, and then get that nice big twist. And again, you may feel this all the way through your spine, down your low back, maybe into your hips, or it may just feel really good. Breathe. And then back to the middle. Let your legs go long. Ground your heels. Arms by your side. And then do a quick point and flex. I do this one quite a bit in my videos. This is called the Chi Reset. And this is something I learned at a workshop. And it's a good way to release the spine and the low back. And a good way to get alignment in your body. And it just kind of feels good. So you got to point and flex the feet pretty quick. Let's just go for about 10 and 9, pointing and flexing for 8, letting your eyes close and your body melt for 7 and 6. Keep pointing and flexing 5. Keep letting the whole spine bounce for 4, 3, 2, and let the feet relax. Let the palms open and just breathe. As you're here breathing, letting your body sink, making a little assessment of how your body is feeling right now after doing a lot of good mobility and a lot of good stretch. Hopefully it feels good. And knowing that by doing stretch and mobility moves, it is just as important for your body as all the strength, as the cardio, as getting that sweat on. So don't feel like you didn't do anything. Feel as if you're taking really good care of your body and making it more balanced and more even. A quote that I love from Jen Sincero. She's an author of a book called You Are a Badass, and this quote is from her book. But I'm going to leave it with you to take with you for the rest of your day. You get to choose how you perceive your reality. So why, when it comes to perceiving yourself, would you choose to see anything other than a super huge rock star of a creature? As you leave, I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. You keep breathing, stay there as long as you need to, and I'll see you next time. Bye.